I think I got YouTube. So I got X and YouTube and Instagram and Rumble. I think I got it all going. Man, where's my other stuff at? All right, there we go. Got that. Got that. I'm busting on all cylinders today. Doing great, man. Spent the morning, all afternoon really, at Billy Bob's, the biggest and best honky tonk in the world. And my youngest daughter's 16th birthday, she wanted to have line dance lessons. So where do you go? Go to Billy Bob's. Free lessons, over an hour. She and her friends learned dances while I sat over on the side and filmed, and my wife filmed, and all that kind of stuff. Had a great time. Great time. Then went to Joe T. Garcia's, which is an iconic place down in or over in Fort Worth, and been around since 1935. Great Mexican food. They got some, just some little quirky things that they do that just, make it great. And it's a beautiful location. So they took all kinds of pictures and everything. We had a great day. We were over there for like almost 5 hours. So, but if you're going to drive to Fort Worth from Dallas, you really better be planning on staying a while, because it's a long way over there. All right, hang on. I'm gonna turn this up for just a second. Oh yeah, I can hear myself doing well. I have a great show for you today. Now that I got the birthday stuff out of the way, you're gonna really love it. I'm really excited about it. I think it's gonna be awesome. I am pairing Early Times, Bottle and Bond, Blue Cap. Those of you that know Bottle and Evan Williams, Early Times, know that the Blue Cap is one of the good ones. The Black Cap is the great one. And then the new bottle, instead of being the typical whiskey round bottle, the new bottle is square. And I have heard, stay away, that it is terrible. I don't know. Maybe it is, maybe it isn't. But anyway, I know this is some pretty good juice right here. And I'm pairing that with a Herrera Estelí Miami. I think you're really going to love it. So we're just going to go ahead and hop right on into this thing. Get my cutter here, and I will be ready to go. Sorry, professional show, So let's go ahead, and it's a screw top. That's it. The only thing I can say I can complain about with Early Times. But, for a $20 fifth, can you really complain too much that they have a screw top instead of a cork? I mean, no, not really. This is, well, Brown-Forman. I believe they were purchased by, was it Sazerac? Maybe Sazerac? And that's when it went downhill, whoever the new owners are. They're doing a lot of consolidating. I've heard that there is a possibility of another big merger on the horizon, and I don't see that kind of stuff going well for the whiskey loving world. Maybe it does great for them, but anyway, right now I have the good stuff. So this is a Kentucky straight bourbon. It is 50% alcohol by volume, 100 proof. Roughly 79% corn, 11% rye, 10% malted barley. 79% corn is it's going to have some really nice sweet notes to it. 11% rye is going to put a little spice in it too. On the nose, it's just that classic, bold, inviting bourbon aroma. Just some wonderful notes of rich caramel and toffee up front, with a little bit of like vanilla bean and maybe a little bit of light maple sweetness in the background. Also some hints of like toasted oak, char. There's a little touch of lemon zest to it, kind of like orange peel. And then just maybe some light peanut or peanut brittle type notes. Wonderful, wonderful aroma on this one. It's got a really kind of a youthful brightness to it, but the bottled and bond structure keeps it really grounded and aromatic. It's like classic kind of bourbon. So as you can see, making sure everybody can see, it is a beautiful spirit in the glass. It's that nice kind of dark amber color. Those nice orange hues in it. Mm. Let's go ahead and tip this one. Immediately, you get this kind of caramel sweetness with the corn richness. Uh, and then mid palate, you pick up some baking spices like cinnamon and cloves. Then that rye spice kind of starts building gently, not aggressively, but noticeable. And then you get the oak and the kind of light tannin structure that come through towards the end. There's a slight nuttiness that carries through it. The mouthfeel is medium bodied, slightly oily, with a really nice warming presence to it. It's not harsh at all. It's got a wonderful medium to long finish on it, with this kind of drying oak and spice in it, and then that kind of faint vanilla sweetness just kind of lingers. This is a wonderful spirit if you've never tried it, and it's one of those that if you just saw it on the shelf and didn't know anything about it, you would probably pass it by because of the price point. I've seen it. I've seen it anywhere from $18 to $22 for a fifth. That's a pretty good price point, and they're just turning it out. Now, again, you need to find the round bottle that's either got the blue or black tops on them. The round bottle is going to have one of those two. They switched to the square bottle, and that's where everything started going awry. Not because of the shape of the bottle, that's just the timing. Mm. Now, on to Herrera Estelí, Miami. The Herrera Estelí line is from Drew Estates. Jonathan Drew. Uh, he is he's still involved in Drew Estates, but he has started another venture. Uh, with he and his son, but his son's an infant, so uh, he. But it's for he and his son. You know, he's. I guess he wanted to start it and build it from the ground up with as his son continues to grow. You know, uh, instead of just passing on Drew Estate to him, because Drew Estate is uh, global. I mean, they're one of the, even though they're not one of the legacy brands like Padron or Arturo Fuente or something like that. Still, you cannot walk into a cigar shop without finding a lot of the different things that Drew Estate uh, makes, whether it is the Javas, the acids, the Herrera Esteles, the Ligas. I mean, just everywhere. So anyway, uh, this particular cigar, the blender is Willie Herrera. The wrapper is a Ecuadorian Habano, and both the filler and the binder are Nicaraguan. It is a very beautiful stick, very well constructed. It's got a little bit of a rough kind of hue to it. That's by design. Um, but it's got, while it's firm, I get some nice give to the stick. Um, it is a very dark, oily brown with tight and almost invisible seams and almost nary a vein. I'll show it to you folks here first. There's one pronounced vein right in there. One pronounced vein right in there on that side, right there. That's it. All the rest of them are so small you can hardly see them. It has a very large double cap on the nose. Right away, you get these wonderful notes of like hay and cedar, some like fresh cut wood, kind of sawdust, some light barnyard earthiness. There's a touch of pepper that just kind of tingles your nose a little bit, and then some subtle sweetness, almost like a graham cracker. Hmm. Yeah. All right. Let's give it a cut. My C-Car V cutter. Nice, beautiful V cut there. Perfect. Cold draw. I get dry cedar, kind of a toasted bread, a little bit of light white pepper, some hints of raisins and dried fruit, and then just a slight kind of creamy undertone. Draw is fairly typical of the Herrera Estelí lines. It's effortless, kind of classic El Titan de Bronze craftsmanship. You know what I'm talking about. All right, let's go ahead and light this puppy up. Mm. You get these kind of bright cedar notes with a little bit more of that toasted bread leading out. And there's a little bit of kind of a white pepper kind of sharpness, but it's kind of refined. There's a kind of a light creaminess, and then some subtle kind of citrusy notes kind of just flicker in and out a little bit. Hmm. I would say it's a medium strength, uh, medium body that will, as we progress through, I think will be a little more medium full towards the end. It will kind of build. Now together, mm, the bourbon's caramel and vanilla um, immediately kind of round off the cigar's initial little bit of peppery edge. The citrus notes in the bourbon play nicely with the cigar's brightness, and it's got some little citrusy notes in it as well. Um, and the sweetness from the whiskey balances the kind of dry cedar and spice in the cigar. I think it's a lively, kind of slightly contrasting start with sweetness versus spice. So far, so good. As you can see, it's putting off copious amounts of smoke. Uh, I'm going to try and find something on TV while I'm sitting here. Um, I don't really want to watch that. A very easy, comfortable draw. Um, and it's just a great smoking stick. I've had a few of these, not all that many. So it's not new to me, but it's not one that I've smoked consistently. Another sip. What do you think? Season of the Witch or American Monster Files? What do you think? I'm kind of leaning towards American Monster Files. That's on Alien Nation. That kind of sounds like it'd be interesting. So, while I'm sitting here, y'all can't see what's going on behind the camera, but I typically always have the TV on, but I do put it on mute. So sometimes I'll just play the Vizio like elevator music. Uh, Next up, Werewolves Unearthed. Oh yeah, yeah, it's going to be a good show. Decent burn line, maybe a little wavy, not terrible though. Nice. Let me put it down here so you can see it too. Uh, Nice stacks of white ash. I'll touch it up because it could have been me. I have been known to booger up many a burn line lighting a cigar. What can I say? And now these are not budget buster sticks either. These are very affordable. Um, and of course, the whiskey, as I've said, is extremely affordable. Uh, if you can't afford $20 for a fifth of whiskey, you are in some serious trouble. Uh, so it is what it is. But for $20, you're getting 100 proof Kentucky straight bourbon that's got some wonderful palate notes on it, and it's bottled in bond. Oh no, there's a werewolf. Small town monsters. It sounds like it's going to be very professionally done. Directed by George Heine, or no, Edward Heine, Mr. Heine. Know him well. Yeah, I've had two or three of the Herrera Estelí line, and they're all very good. Drew Estate has Jonathan Drew has done a wonderful job. He only accepts the best. Uh, he's not he's not like from a cigar family like the Fuentes or the Padrones, but he knows what's good, and he brings in the people that can make it the best he can possibly make it. I have long been a fan of Mr. Drew. And I haven't heard him exactly explain his affiliation now with Drew Estates, just that he's no longer in charge or something along those lines. Like I said, it's a little murky, but he's still involved. But they're doing very well. That is some awesome. That is an awesome spirit. It's hard to believe that you can make a spirit that tastes that good and sell it for $20. Guys out there chasing $250 and $300 bottles of bourbon around, and they're no better than that. They're just harder to get. That's why I'm very, even though there's lots of things I'd love to have, especially especially when I see what has happened with E.H. Taylor. I'm like, I'm not spending $200, $300 on a bottle of bourbon. My first bottle of E.H. Taylor, uh, I probably bought it 2 or 3 years ago, maybe, and it was like $130. Now you can walk into a liquor store and they'll have 8 to 12 cases selling it for $55, $65 a bottle. They unallocated it, started releasing their stock. Hey, it's one thing when you're talking, like 25, 30-year-old spirits, uh, because over that amount of time as it's aging, you're losing that angel share that's soaking into the wood. And so a barrel that was completely full is now only like 3/4 full or half full or something like that. And so, yes, that is a lack of supply, which increases the price. But E.H. Taylor small batch at $130 a bottle 2 years ago, and today it's 65 or even 55, you know. And my pairing from last week, Knob Creek's Blenders Edition #1, that's kind of like, even though it's supposed to be a limited edition, that's kind of blowing the top off this whole allocated thing. That's a 10-year-old whiskey that I bought for $39.99 for a fifth. 10-year-old whiskey, Knob Creek, and it was delicious, really good. And hold on to your hats. I did a little, if you go back and look, I posted a little less than 60-second short uh, about the Blenders Edition #1. Knob Creek DM'd me and said, "Hey, we've had a lot of great response for this from this spirit. We love your short. Can we use it? Hashtag Knob Creek yes, if you agree." I didn't even finish the sentence. Hashtag Knob Creek yes. So you may actually they want to use it on some of their social medias and stuff. So you may see this glorious mug uh, propping Knob Creek Blenders Edition 1 on a lot of Knob Creek's various social media sites. So hey, I'm actually gaining a little traction. Maybe maybe this thing will take off. Now I'll build a big following. I'd love it. Thank you all for being here. Go to Knob Creek, go to their social media sites and say, "Hey, we saw this guy. He's great. We love it. You need to do more work with him." I'd be happy to. I told him, I'm like, "Hey, if you're looking for a spokesman, I'm available." We'll take a look again. See if I can yeah, there we go. Maybe get my big head out of the way. Okay. I'll just do it this way. It's easier to do it this way. Show you both. My problem is that's some really nice stacks of ash. It is getting a little Peyronie's disease there, but most cigars do. Um, yeah, the whole issue is, all right, up here, that camera is Rumble, X, and YouTube from Rumble. I'm live on Rumble, and it's carrying to X and YouTube. This camera is just for Instagram because I cannot stream to all the other places and Instagram on the same phone. Won't let me do it. Maybe if I used a computer, but I won't drag my computer out here every time I want to try and go live. but and it requires a lot of technical expertise that I probably don't have. You're lucky I've been able to get this to work. So, and I'm just hoping it's working. I'm now using a wired microphone for the Instagram camera and my wireless microphone for all everybody else. So I couldn't use, it was weird. Could not use wireless, separate wireless microphones, separate companies, manufacturers, all that. But when I would try to use one for each one would block out the other, and I would have an entire episode on one channel that would just be, and no words. I, I don't understand it. So I got a wired microphone and seem to solve the problem. If I'm sitting here talking and one of you is not hearing me, then I haven't solved the problem. But I think I have. I think I did it last week. So this one has been a little bit of a slow burner. We're 26 minutes in. I've still got a little ways to go to the halfway mark. I've been trying to keep my episodes between 30 and 35 minutes because I was running almost an hour, and I was seeing that people weren't lasting nearly that long. But I feel like I need to give you at least to the halfway mark. You know, so I try to keep it between 30 and 35 minutes. Uh, I did one of the various places that I use. They had a blog post out about how long form video is now becoming popular. And I'm not talking about 1 hour, it's like 2 or 3 hours. And I'm like, yeah, I'm not Joe Rogan. I can't do that. If you're going to try and go that long, you have to have something to talk about. And I can only talk about this cigar and this spirit for a certain amount of time, especially just the amount of time of the cigar. And then I'm still having to try and fill a bunch of time. And I tried talking about some, politics and news stuff, and people didn't like it, and I didn't like it. And then you get half the people hate you and half the people like you, and you know, I just stick with cigars and spirits. Better that way. I know it's against the rules, but I'm gonna go ahead and tap this off before it falls in my lap. So if I'm just out here by myself, I don't really care. But when I'm on camera, I tend to like curse uncontrollably when that happens. And even though kids shouldn't be watching this and smoking and drinking uh, whiskey, but you know, I think at this rate, and some of it could be, it's a little humid today. They're calling for a lot of storms here. I was actually happy that I was able to get back here and come out and do this. As we were coming back, is 50 miles to Fort Worth. DFW is about 75 miles across. And so it's like 50 miles to where we were going in Fort Worth. And all the way back, it looked like it was raining and storming here. We ran into some rain and stuff on the way back, but nothing terrible. And by the time we got back, it's still cloudy, but you do see some blue. But it is a little humid, and it's a little warm. Not bad, but they're saying there's possibility of tough weather over the next few days. So I wasn't sure if I'd be able to get out here and do this tomorrow. So I'm like, hey, I know it's late in the afternoon, but I'm gonna go ahead and do it today. I literally filled myself up at Joe T. Garcia's. I told Mrs. Sticks-n-Stonez while we were there. I'm like, I'm not gonna be eating dinner tonight. I'll have some cake and ice cream because it's cake and ice cream. But and if you're new to the show, welcome. Number one. Number two, you see me expel the smoke into the glass. Doesn't mean anything. I do kind of, you know, like the way it looks. Kind of looks like that dry ice kind of thing. But the biggest thing for me is to keep the smoke and the spirit as close together as I can to really give you what I need to give you. So, and we're getting close to the halfway mark. So don't worry. I should be wrapping this up by about 35 minutes because we got about five and a half left. Five left. Sorry. I've got one contact in. So Yeah. I have keratoconus from LASIK surgery, and my eyes are jacked up. And I have a special optometrist who specializes in these very large, hard contact lenses to try and force my eyes the shape they're supposed to be, and so I can have better vision. I'm on my second pair, and the left one is still not working right. I actually see better with just the right one in. So I've been doing that for a week. He's supposed to be off vacation on Monday, and going to decide whether to try a third pair or just say, we're just going to roll with it like this. If the one is working, let's just do that. So I'll have him order the left one in the exact same prescription as the right one. So I have two rights in case I lose one, or one gets hard, so one gets broken or whatever. I know y'all really want to know all that. But I mean, really think about it. If you're just sitting around drinking, smoking a cigar, what are you doing? Just shooting shit about stuff. So it's kind of what I'm doing. Kind of filling the time until we are about where I can give you the halfway mark. And then of course, I've already test smoked all this, so I could tell you what's going to happen. I have these insights, not insides. And then on top of that, there's no way I could remember everything that I need to try and tell you. It just wouldn't happen. I do not have that good a memory. So still just copious amounts of smoke coming off this stick. It's probably one of the best smoke producing sticks that I've had in a while. It produces a really great amount of smoke, and the smoke is nice and thick. And you just look at it, how it hangs in the glass like that. I just love that. I do. Well, as we've gotten here kind of close to the halfway mark, the creaminess has been building, which kind of softens the pepper. The baking spices have really started to emerge. It's kind of gone more to like cinnamon and nutmeg from cinnamon and clove. The clove's a little bit sharper. The earthiness has kind of deepened, and there's a touch of leather and nuts. Um, Together, they have still managed to work excellently together. And this is kind of where this pairing has kind of locked in. You've got these shared baking spice notes with the cinnamon and the nutmeg. You kind of created a nice harmony between the two. The cigar's growing creaminess kind of tames the bourbon's heat with the 100 proof, and the nutty undertones kind of start mirroring each other, and the result is like just peak balance. And this is the real sweet spot of this whole pairing. It's exceptionally excellent, something like that. You know what I mean? As you move on through the cigar, as you get closer to the end, you'll have more pronounced earth and oak. The pepper will kind of return, only a little bit stronger. It'll get a little bit more pepperier. Uh, the uh, the cream transitions to like a thicker, almost kind of buttery texture. I don't know, use my hands a lot. Um, and the finish shows very nice leather, spice, and kind of a faint minerally dryness on the cigar. Um, and together, the experience really becomes deeper and more robust the deeper you get into the cigar. The oak and the earth from the cigar align with the bourbon's kind of drying finish. Like I said, the pepper reemerges and is amplified by that 100 proof. The bourbon sweetness now really acts as a counterbalance to the cigar's kind of darker turn. And that just the overall result is a bold and slightly more intense finish that has a really nice, satisfying kind of weight to it. My overall impression is that this pairing is a textbook example of the contrast evolving into harmony. The early times bottle and bond brings a bold sweetness, a structure, spiciness. The Herrera Estelí Miami offers a refinement and a balance, and a nice progression. Together, they move from contrast, sweet versus spicy, to harmony, shared baking spices and creaminess, to depth, oak, earth, a lingering warmth. It's a wonderful experience. This is a high value, high performing, low cost pairing that delivers complexity well beyond their price point. The bourbon never overwhelms and the cigar never disappears. Each kind of elevate the other through every part of this experience. Overall, I would give it an 8.7 out of 10. Pretty respectable for some rather budget offerings, if you will. I hope you've enjoyed this episode as much as I've enjoyed bringing it to you. Please hit like, subscribe, share, notify, ring all the bells, do all the whistles. Subscribe to us on X, Sticks-n-Stonez, Sticks-Stonez, all crammed together. 2 on X. If you're not there, you can subscribe for $1 a month. $1. That's not much. 4 quarters. And you get early access to my pairing notes before I go live. So you already know kind of what it's going to be like. And if you happen to have these two things, you can try them right along with me. You've got your notes right there. But till we get to be together again, keep your sticks dry, your stones cold. Have a great day.